Okay, it will take 6 to 12 hours. Then the sludge retention time. The sludge retention time, it is 15 to 30 days. Even though the sludge retention time is 15 to 30 days, the solid retention time, that means the average solid particles, it will remain in the reactor usually for 43 to 50 days for complete decomposition or from complete degradation of the particles. Then it is written no mixer or aerators are required, thus giving very low operating cost. So here the solid retention time is 43 to 50 days. Even though it is 43 to 50 days, there we are not providing any mixer or aerator, so it is giving a very low cost of operations. Then gas produced can be collected, and if desired, it can be collected if we desire, and the excess sludge is removed from time to time through separate pipe and sent to drying. As the nutrients and nitrogen and phosphorus are conserved in the process, the effluent is more valuable for irrigation purpose. So that is why here earlier we have mentioned that it is fully nitrified. That means the decomposition is taking place completely, whereas there is no denitrification is taking place. Nitrification and denitrification, we know it is denitrification is not taking place. So it is all the nutrients and the nitrogen and phosphorus are conserved here in this process, and the effluent is more valuable for irrigation purpose. Now the sixth point is the effluent quality and post treatment. The effluent BOD is about 50 milligram per liter, assuming influent BOD of 200 milligram per liter. That means when the influent BOD is 200 milligram per liter and the effluent BOD is 50 milligram per liter, means only 150 milligram per liter is decomposed here. That means only 75 to 80% efficiency is achieved in this particular treatment process. Then it is written post treatment may be provided where effluent quality required is less as per the norms of disposal. That means if we need a very low effluent quality, or if we need more BOD to be removed, then you have to provide post treatment, otherwise it is not required. Then operation of the system, it is written in the page 5. So the USB is highly recommended where temperature is around 18 to 30 degrees centigrade, and for cold climates it could be provided where industrial waste water that can produce sufficient methane gas for reactor to heat is treated. That means if the industrial wastewater that can produce a methane gas, then in that particular case USB can be recommended even in cold climates, so that the methane gas which produced due to the chemical reaction within the reactor or due to the industrial waste characteristics, if it is produced, then the heat is generated, so the temperature can be raised to 18 degree or more for a optimum reaction in the USBR. Then it is written the system needs 2 to 3 months to build up satisfying sludge blanket without the addition of the seed from working USB. So that I have already mentioned, when the initial stage, when the initial period of commissioning, the USBR, the slime layer or the biomass, the sludge blanket layer is of very thin, and it will take time to form the large thickness or the sufficient thickness of the biomass or the sludge blanket. And if you need the system to work very early, that means if you need to thicken the sludge blanket very early, then what you have to do, you have to add some biomass or the sludge from a working plant. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു വർക്കിംഗ് പ്ലാന്റിൽ നിന്ന് കുറച്ച് ബയോമാസ് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ഈ കമ്മീഷൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്ന പുതിയ റിയാക്ടറിൽ ഇടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്ലേസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഈ പറയുന്ന ബ്ലാങ്കറ്റ് വളരെ ഫാസ്റ്റായിട്ട് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്കൊരു ഏകദേശം മിനിമം റിക്വയർഡ് തിക്നെസ്സിലുള്ള ബ്ലാങ്കറ്റ് കിട്ടും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ദ ന്യൂ reactor can also work properly at a very within a small period.